Good evening, guys, and good morning and good afternoon to some guys. So today we have the webinar. The topic is exploring design education at top universities, insights by students and alumni. And welcome to Migliore Design. We have Ayush Datta here from IAD. We have Lisa from Federal University and Kelly from Royal College of Art. And as per the advertisement, the Stephania and the each is unable to connect because of some issues, but still we'll carry on. So yeah, guys, can you please turn on your camera? So welcome you all, and thank you so much for the time for the session. So without wasting time, go ahead. So let's start with the introduction first. Then we'll have the question sessions, and there is one surprise for you guys. Okay, and after that, you can ask the questions to the guest. Okay, we can start with Lisa first. Okay, so is that okay?
Yeah, that's totally fine. I would like to share my screen, I guess.
Okay, so Lisa, please start with introduction and go ahead.
Okay,
Stage
sure.
is
So
yours.
how much time do I have? 10 minutes approximately?
Yeah, we can. Uh,
Okay, cool. So my name is Lisa and I'm an industrial designer based in Yekaterinburg, Russia. Here are just some of my previous projects that I've done throughout the years of my design practices. As you can see, it's pretty broad. So the projects I've worked on, they come from all types of different fields. And I think that's what I like about industrial design as a major, is that you can really do and experiment with different areas of design, not really focusing on one thing. And for me, that was definitely an advantage when I started studying because I guess being a high school graduate, it's really challenging to find and like choose right away what niche you want to pursue. While industrial design gives you a very like broad skill set that you then can apply to any niche that you choose. This is the university that I started in. This is Ural Federal University. And that's the second biggest university in Russia. And an important thing to mention here is that this university is not a design one. So that is the university that has a whole bunch of different faculties, like construction, engineering, chemistry, whatever you can possibly imagine. And I think that that was definitely an advantage to me because the professors that we have, they all come from different fields, and this kind of fulfills the design education because we not only have the professors who are designers, we also have like engineers and other people that can bring something to our design fundamentals, you know? And this is actually why I chose this university and not an art university, because here, at least here in this city, the other university that has also industrial design degree, they only study like the conceptual side of design mainly. So once they graduate, I often hear that students don't quite get how they can now apply those skill sets to the real world scenario. So most of their projects are not manufacturable. And I understand that the education there is more focused on like futuristic, super highly creative concepts, but that's kind of not applicable to the real world. So I'm really happy that I chose another university that gives like the fundamentals from the engineering, like mainly technical drawing side. And everyone like always asks me if I could give one advice, what would that be? I would say that definitely, if you're not sure what university to choose or what degree to pursue, I would highly recommend finding people who already study there, or even better, someone who has already graduated, because they can definitely share some insights, their experience, what they liked about the degree, what they hated, what they would choose over it if there would be a chance. Because this really helped me when I was choosing my master's degree program. And yeah, you can definitely find those people either on LinkedIn, Facebook, even Instagram, using location and hashtags. And people are always willing to share that, at least based on my experience. I never had a chance to talk to someone who would not be willing to help me in this sense. So yeah, definitely do that if you have some doubts. I also wanted to share the examples of the entry exams, which seem really complex. And the thing is that every single university has their own exams. There are no standards that would be followed on a governmental level, you know? So every single university has their own crazy stuff that they want you to pass in order to apply. And this is what we have here. So the exam consists of two parts. The constructive composition, it's very abstract. You are given a topic and you have to create something out of geometrical shapes. You're not allowed to use the ruler, only eraser and a pencil, and you have 8 hours to complete this exam, this part of the exam. And the other part is the academical drawing. This is the level that you have to have in order to apply. Nothing creative here, really, just the technique, just the skill that you need to have. And yeah, that's it. I have to admit that these compositions that I prepared for around 2 years, pretty much, they absolutely cracked my mind. And during the whole freshman year, I was struggling a lot with finally designing something particular, something that would be used by real people, not something abstract. And around May, April of the freshman year, I realized that I need to change something in my life and I just want to stop struggling. And I started practicing a lot in my free time, just redesigning some random products, random objects that I could see around myself. And this practice really helped me to like break that barrier of thinking abstractly. And like from now on, I only kind of understand how to build the actual physical shape, not thinking of abstract shapes that make no sense. So in a couple of months, I kind of achieved that fluency in this design approach, at least on a basic level. During all of that time, I shared my experience on Instagram pretty consistently. And in February next year, I got a DM from a startup saying that they would like to hire me as a freelance designer for their new pair of sunglasses. And they thought I would be a great fit. So I was really excited. I didn't expect that to happen that soon, because like I was always told by my parents that I cannot do the work for people that would pay me unless I'm super highly proficient at something. But at that stage, I just decided to give it a go. And yeah, I accepted that project. We completed it successfully, even though at that time I didn't know any like 3D programs. So this is what you see. It's done in either Adobe Illustrator or CorelDRAW. I don't really remember. So that's a 2D software. But for the company, it was okay because they only needed the concept and the technical drawings in order to manufacture that product. So that was exciting. And later on, I just realized that maybe I could try and do some other freelance projects. So I registered on various websites. And this way, I found my first like full-time client. I did all of that while studying, so that was my sophomore year. So I was studying in the first part of the day, and then in the evening and night I would be freelancing. But that definitely paid off because this gave me the experience that I needed then to like get better projects, apply for jobs, etc. And this first client, as you can see, it's a fashion accessories brand. And they hired me because, and not like a real fashion designer, because they wanted to change that approach in design of accessories that is not functional centered, you know. So we were focusing on solving a whole bunch of different problems. And as an example, in one of our projects, we decided to make the bag, like the interior of the bag, super highly functional, and to focus on the location of the phone because it's one of the most frequently used items by us every day. Plus, our phone often gets scratched by other like items inside the bag, which also affects the usability. So we wanted to focus on that, and we provided this solution in which we would have a central slot where your phone goes into. You can easily find it on the go because it's in the very center. It's also detachable, which is also handy for some people. And the rest of the space of the bag is dedicated to other items, each one in each particular space. The location of the belt was also quite unique. We didn't see anything similar available in the market back then. And it allowed us to to carry that bag in a whole bunch of different modes, which allowed our users some flexibility. And the reason why I'm sharing this project is because it again proves that industrial design major or physical product design major, it gives you such a broad skill set that you can apply to fields that you would probably never think of, because I would never think myself become a part of the fashion industry because like industrial design is slightly different. But again, this field needs some problem solving and functional approach for sure. The lessons I learned was definitely that if you don't make your opportunities, you don't have to wait for them. So definitely try to do something as soon as possible, and it will just become easy with the time and practice. And then also another thing is that networking is definitely a key. Like from the moment that you look for people who study that major till the moment you graduate, it's always necessary to communicate with people in your industry because it can definitely help you in the future and even in the present. And the thing about portfolio, I think it's a little bit early to talk about, but yeah, just keep in mind that you should take care of your portfolio before you even need it. And the same comes to networking as well. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to share. This is where you can find me on social media by the same nickname everywhere. And yeah, thanks for your attention.
Thank you so much, Lisa. It was amazing. It was amazing experience, and you have gone through the lot of work, and especially mentioned that you are not a fashion designer, but your work is that much amazing. You have designed the bag, and that stitching and everything has you done by yourself, or like?
Thank you so much.
So
I can't
backstitching
hear you.
has done. Now I'm audible to you.
Yeah,
Is it
yeah, I
audible?
can hear you now.
Okay. So the backstitching has done by yourself itself.
No, it was done by the manufacturer, of course. So we provided the whole concept, all the materials that are needed to manufacture the bag. Obviously, they then provided us with the prototype, well, multiple prototypes that we then test with the users for multiple weeks, get feedback, then apply the changes, also manufacture another prototype, and then we come to the final solution, as it always is done in industrial designer. It's like a back and forth process, as always. But yeah, I don't personally sew. But yeah, I do everything except for that.
Yeah. Really very insightful. And as you mentioned, the things like work and the networking, both think is most important. Cause
Sorry, can you repeat that?
can you please repeat? Yeah, I mentioned as you have mentioned the thing that work and networking both important in the design field.
Yeah, so networking, I think, is even, I mean, yeah, work and your skills are the first thing that you have to master. But networking is what comes along, you know? So if you have already the skill set, you can then talk about it with other people and you might be helpful for others. This is what can definitely help you kind of enter the field of the real work, just by helping others, first of all. And you never know if these other people can help you sometime in the future, because I had personally some experience getting to know a girl who is in events industry, and later on, like years after we graduated, she came back to me saying that their event agency needs a designer, which would include like three-dimensional stands design for various events, also like the graphic design side, which I was by that time already doing as well. So we worked on amazing projects together, and like she has absolutely nothing to do with design. But turned out that she was hired by the company that does need designers. So you never know if you kind of end up anywhere. So yeah,
Absolutely,
definitely be open to anything. That's my advice.
absolutely right. Okay, so thank you so much, Lisa, and we'll discuss again further. So we'll move ahead
Okay.
for another guy, and then yeah.
Yeah,
So
sure.
next,
Thank you.
welcome, Kelly. Are you there?
Yeah, hello.
Hi, hi, Kelly. So can you start with by introducing yourself?
Yeah, I'm Kelly Holder, and I graduated probably a completely different background. So it's nice to see how the different industries do compare and have similarities. But I've actually been in the industry for about 10 years now. So I graduated from Coventry University here in the UK in 2014, and then moved on to the RCA during my went back to education during my experience. I can probably share with you a few pieces from my uh,
Yeah,
career that
please.
has been absolutely fantastic, and I would encourage anybody to really get into. Um, So I'd probably start by advising anybody that wants to get into any design subject really that portfolio is key. Your portfolio is more precious than a CV really. It speaks of the journey that you've had from education, from experience, and really I can tell you what I was doing at a time maybe 5 years ago, but I haven't got a clue when that date was. But it really is a journey. And then as you go through your career, you can start to pick up experiences. I would advise never to say no to anything. Someone said that to me at the start, and I've been very tired over the years, but I have met some really valuable people, and had some brilliant experiences in this industry. So I've worked on all sorts since my time at Coventry University, going through to Royal College of Art. And I think probably it was in the turning point of my experience at the Royal College of Art, which was most valuable. We're in this stage in automotive design where the industry has had such a massive change. As new technologies are emerging, we're seeing the introduction of electric cars. It's exciting. So I was down at Lotus, actually, the brilliant team down there, and was lucky enough to get into the Royal College of Art. And I think if most of you have obviously heard of it, it is an honour to get accepted there. They really do teach you how to be leaders of tomorrow and really understand how to create new innovation and technologies. And I guess as a designer, we're all curious as to what's going on, not just in the past, the present, but also the future. And it really does give you that different design thinking than what you study at a bachelor's level. So at Coventry University, I think when I started in 2010, there was nearly 100 of us, and there was probably about 6 or 8 girls amongst us. And it was a 4-year course then, and you did a placement year in the 3rd year, which was fantastic. And I think it's cut down now to 3 years. And I think that really does give you a brilliant starting point on what the industry is about, what to expect. It's definitely not for the faint-hearted. And then going on to the Royal College of Art, it opens up your design thinking. It helps you improve not just skill sets, but it's helping you face things to create a better future. How do we think how we can design something to create a more sustainable future? New technologies, how can we incorporate them in mobility? The days of, we can all sit there with a sketch pad and sketch, but I think the days of really people that draw cars, as they've gone from the vehicle design course into intelligent mobility, it's far more than that, and it's so exciting. I think I was one of the first few years that did the course, and I would definitely recommend it to anybody to go down. And some of the visiting lecturers that we had down there, just to name a few, Sam Livingston, fantastic research designer, and Peter Schreier. The visiting lecturers really do make it. You're in it now. You're not sat behind in a lecture theatre. You are an individual in design, and the work that follows. I did it at that point and collected a portfolio of work along the way, and since then I think I've done the most recent that I think I've worked on since then was some work with MSRT, which was the in close partnership with Ford. So we did the stuff that Ford aren't allowed to do, and it was fantastic. So we did the custom with the studio down at Dunton, and the Ford Ranger with the team over in Ford Australia. And I think working on these straight out of university, you have to keep that momentum going, because how intense it is when you're studying, you really have to keep that drive going. And this was fantastic to get involved with that early on. And at one point I actually did get involved with the car out of the Barbie film at the same time as studying. And I think anybody that can work and study like that is a little bit crazy, but I managed to do a little bit. So that was a brilliant opportunity. And I think really it's not, like I said, it's not just about skill set. What you put into your education is fruitful. You will see the return. And I think now we're seeing the days of not just sketching, we're seeing a lot of Blender and Sub D that's coming in, and you don't need to spend thousands on a CAD license to be able to get a quick 3D form. So even just doing form studies and quick sketches like this can be, beneficial just in your spare time or before when you're preparing to go to university. I think the Royal College of Art really does encourage getting involved with the different faculties, and it's something that I did miss out on slightly because unfortunately I was the year that went over COVID. But I think they handled it fantastically, and with the hecticness of COVID, it really tested us as designers how we can incorporate these emerging technologies and skills while being at home on our own. So it was a great time for me to get involved with things like Gravity Sketch. And at one point, I actually did have half a car in my kitchen in my flat and set up my own interior book, which just shows when you are, you don't have other faculties. Even I think fashion and textiles, things like that would be fantastic to use, especially on automotive interiors, and work together. But you still can do quite a lot just in the space of your own home. And I think another thing, the head of the year, Chris Thorpe, he always encouraged us all to enter design competitions. And as he always said, you've got to be in it to win it, which always made me smile because you think I've got so much other work to do, but you always have room for competitions. That adrenaline always keeps going. So I entered this competition shortly after I graduated to design the new DeLorean. And it was with an American company, Car Design TV, and ended up winning it. It was judged by the daughter of John DeLorean, Catherine DeLorean. And again, it wasn't just about the styling, it's about the innovation and it's about the technologies that we see in the future. It's not just about the gull wing doors and the DMC on the front and the stripe around it. So I did two entries for that, and I was really happy that she chose that. I definitely encourage, I think we all love to sketch, and I think at my time at the RCA, I literally was sketching and covered my whole bed in sketches, and I couldn't have been happier. Doing a project like this where you look backwards to go forwards, when you're faced with that in industry, I think that there's companies there that really do get it. We're seeing fantastic work at the minute, and I think places are really challenged by this movement of electric cars coming along, and it's brilliant to see what the heritage has been behind us, but also try and pull that into the future slightly, with the challenge of a different platform and completely different platforms. I mean, a lot of things now we're looking at SUVs, and I think if you'd asked us that years ago, you probably wouldn't have thought that's what was going to happen. But it is very fast paced, and even things like AI that's now coming in, how quick you can use that in the design process. If you just want an idea, how quick you can turn a sketch to a 3D sketch and get some ideas out. It really does improve the process. I can talk for Britain, so I could probably talk you through a lot more. We did a project, I think during your time in any university, you'll probably get the chance to do work with industry. And I have worked for Bentley prior to that, which is a fantastic experience. But we were lucky to have Bentley come into the RCA and work with us on this project, which was predicting their 100-year strategy going forward. And without talking your head off too much, I will flick through it. And if anybody wants any more information on it, I'll happily talk another time. But yeah, I think even final project, there's people out there you can push to try and get involved with companies, and they're all really, really supportive of especially master's students. And I think having done the masters, building a portfolio, it really did turn my portfolio around. I've done a lot of visualization design in the industry before. I've done design work. I've worked on anything from a submarine to lotuses and all sorts. And I think if you can go somewhere and get that knowledge and be encouraged to do projects like this, where it's encouraged to be that creative that you can smash some ice up to find a form of something, and use chocolate and ice cream, then I think that's fantastic. And this again was another project that I did over the lockdown period, and it just shows how much you can use your creativity from your own home to influence mobility. And I'd say there was a fine line between crazy and creative, but it's creativity at its max is definitely encouraged. I think I've gone a little bit off back there, but yeah, I hope that helps anybody wanting to thinking about getting involved in automotive or transport design. And at this exciting time now, it is mobility. I think the RCA are taking on, they're looking for the intake for later this year, and they do offer a scholarship scheme as well. I was lucky enough to be an EMEA scholarship student when I was there, which was really beneficial, and really grateful for. But it's definitely worth inquiring, and I'd encourage anybody to go down there. Thank you.
That's great. That's great, Kelly. And yeah, your that gravity work is amazing. And thank you so much for your sharing the experience. I'm audible.
Yeah, thank you for inviting me today. I'll
And
probably shut up now, and then you can talk with somebody else. But yeah, thank you very much.
good. Just one question, like maybe this question a lot of guys having. So you studied BA in the Royal College of Art and MA in Coventry University.
It was my Bachelor of Arts in Coventry University,
Okay.
and then Master of Arts at the Royal College of Art.
So from your suggestion, which is the best, Royal College, or which is the best from your?
They're both fantastic universities. They're changing all the time. I mean, the groups of people that I think that went through Coventry when I went, it's a very smaller group now. There's brilliant staff at both, and I think at that stage, like I said, at Coventry, you're really getting a taster of the industry, and at the with the masters at the Royal College of Art, it's really it's encouraging you to be a leader of tomorrow. It's not about skills as such, but what you put into either, you get out. And if you want to be sketching up till midnight, and I mean myself, I have a sketch pad at the side of my bed, so night and day when you have those moments you think I've got to get that down on a sketch pad, you can do that whenever. You don't need a university to tell you that. But I couldn't say which are better. I don't think that would be fair. They're both fantastic, different levels.
Okay. Okay, no issue. Thank you. Okay, so thanks Kelly for such wonderful experience. So guys, you can visit and see the work of Kelly, and simultaneously you can see the Lisa's works. Lisa has shared her ID, and she has done amazing hand work and a lot of work. So both are there. Like Kelly has transportation work and Lisa having the industrial design work. Okay, so thank you guys. And next we are moving for Ayush. Ayush, are you there? Ayush, are you there? I guess you might
Yeah,
having some
I
network
can
issue.
hear you.
Okay, yeah, you are audible. So, guys, first of all, let me tell you, Ayush was the student at Migliore initially, and he has joined the class and he had joined the course, and he got into two colleges in Italy, IED and IAD,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay, so first of all, thank you so much, Ayush, and
Thank
we'll go
you.
ahead.
Thank you. Bravo.
So,
So
please.
yeah, hi guys. My name is Ayush. I'm from India. And apart from rest of the guys in the panel, I did my bachelor's in engineering, like not a arts or design background. So mine is like technical background, and the thing was like even if I was from the technical background, like I had a craving for like drawings and stuff, sketching. Not only uh, I would say industrial or any technical drawing or something, but like in general, like portraits or something, cartoon characters or mimicries, something like that. So like when I was like into my high school, I was like always into like mangas, animes, and stuff. Like they had the unique style of artworks. If you go like from the history of anime, they have like different styles of each era. So apart from that, then after completing my technical degree and getting my engineering background, I opted for automotive industry, automotive field, and automotive design because I had a passion and a love for automotive in general. So basically, I was looking for other universities as well, not particularly in Italy, but others like in Coventry and Swansea as well as like Forjam. The thing in Forjam was uh, in Forjam, the design was like they require a bachelor's in design or something, a diploma. So that was a barrier in my life. But after that, the other option was like in art center, but art center, the of course the fees was too much for me to bear, and apart from that, Italy was like probably the best, like as far as like the automotive culture goes, with the traditions, with the history, everything. And in general, the country is known for like some famous brands like Lamborghini or Ferrari, which you guys must have drawn in your childhood or still hoping to draw in your portfolios. Yeah, so I was like you guys as well. So the thing is like after I did my exam and like did my portfolio for them for these universities, like particularly Yad I had in mind because like they had like direct connections with companies like Ducati and Aprilia that time. So so I had like motorbikes mostly, and Vaibhav here, like he helped me a lot with the proportions and the technical drawings of the motorcycles. And then after Yad, I was looking, I was not there only for Yad. I tried to apply it in different other schools of like in SPD in Milan as well as like in Yed. So then I got a positive response from Yad of a scholarship offering which they were offering, and in Yed, then I came to know in Yed like they had like something called a say of a final thesis which they bring in companies like in last year they were like with the Suzuki, they made the Misano concept, Barchetta, I would say, which was like awesome and like gorgeous looking is say, sports Barchetta. And yeah, that was like a turning point for me. And after that, I went to the Yet as well and did my first entered my Yet design field in back in 2022. So I had like the first session. I remember, if I remember, we were taught like history of design as well as like the culture of Italy with automobiles, like how it's been connected with the emotions of the Italian people. Like here, Alfa Romeo. If you say Alfa, everyone thinks of the Giulietta or like that. And Apart from that, you have other significant designers from like who were like the maestros, and we had like field trips to these museums, museums in which is in Torino. So, and yeah, they had like really really cool stuff. If you are opting for, yeah, I would prefer like you go there once in a while. Like you will see a lot of history about cars in general. And apart from that, like we had like in our course, I would say like we had uh, drafting, which was done by our professor called Masato Inoue. He was like previously he was like in IAAD, and now he came for the uh, project lead of YED of the final thesis. So he was our first teacher. Like he was teaching us about like in general like drawing skills, like in, and his specialty was like he was doing monochromatic sketches, like not only about cars but everything like products of human figures, architectures, interiors in general. So his teaching was like that he was pushing us into the sea, like yeah, this is the whole area. You have to this is your main ground. You have to survive here. It was like that. It was not like, okay, I am teaching you from the basics, like one two three, like this. It was like pushing us to the main field, so that in practice, so that our practice can help us build our skill. So yeah, if I remember like 2 years ago we were doing all nighters like till 3 or 4 a.m doing sketching and all. And it was like quite painful at that time, but yeah, it really paid off at the end when we had our exams. So after that, like in yet there was like after the first semester, we were moved into projects, like you have like exterior and interior, where we had to make a project for two projects basically, like for one for the assignment and the other one is for an exam. So so we were given like, if I remember, like they were given first assignment was like you have to make a car or any vehicle of a non-automotive brand. So that was quite challenging for us as well, because like if you are thinking of a non-car brand and how you can translate into a product, into a automotive thing, it's quite challenging. And you have to know the significance of each and every details of that brand or something, if they have something significant in their design language. So yeah, and after that we were given like exams like about a brand called Saab, which was a dead brand. So it was again a challenging thing for us, that it's a dead brand. You have to revive it for the future, like in 2040, how will that brand will come into the market, how will it represent. So yeah, if I remember, our faculty was like the CDO of Maserati, because like in yet what happens, like the faculties are collaborate are like industrial guys, like they come here for teaching, and they plan the course. So it's quite helpful that for us, that we can get to know about how the industry is looking for the next future designers, and how are the current trends they're following in their studio. Coming These were all the things like which were very significant. In yet another thing was like, even though in masters like they do like a 1 month class of clay modeling, so we get a, a knowledge of like how to make our car of 1:18 ratio, scale ratio of a car. And if I remember, like we were given Pontiac Solstice for our exam. So it was quite good and engaging at that time. And I remember my hands getting burned with the hot clay I was using. So yeah, that was the most intriguing thing in design. Like you get to experience clay modeling as well. Uh, the thing was quite difficult was like initially like that 3D modeling software, which I was not very sound that time because like we had like alias and all. So yeah, in alias, but it's quite important right now in the field, as well as like in some industries, like they are hiring for alias designers. So if I remember in our thesis, that the alias group had the major significant role in our thesis. So yeah, so moving forward to my final thesis journey, I remember. So we had the brand called Pagani. So we went to the Pagani in Modena, uh, Bologna, sorry, Bologna. So yeah, we visited the museum, and there was a unexpected visitor, which was who was like Mr. Horatio himself. He came, he gave us some insightful things about how he thought about the brand of the car Zonda, and how he came back his life to if his life, his inspiration for that Zonda, how he took inspiration from the Le Mans series and all. And if you visit, like, please make sure you visit the Pagani Museum. It's quite good as well. And yeah, we made the concept Alicia, and it was quite good. Like I remember during the final presentations, a lot of auto journalists were there interviewing, and again Horatio was there as well for giving us a motivational speech. And yeah, which was quite good. Like if you if you ask me. And if you want, I can show you my portfolio for the time being. Yeah, is that okay for you if I show my portfolio?
Uh, Ayush, little bit we are running with the time, but what we can do is we can post the work, but you can just
Sure.
code, you can share, and you can just give glimpse quickly. Yeah,
Okay, okay, sure, sure,
great.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Amazing experience, by the way.
Yeah, it was quite
So
good.
in Bologna, there is Ducati as well, I guess.
Yeah, Ducati is there, Lamborghini is there.
Every
Like when we went there, we were like finger crossed, like how our like we were which company would be there. We were like quite uh, like in anxiety, I would say. So yeah, then we got when we saw the logo of Pagani, and we were like, oh my god, this is happening really. So yeah, so this is my portfolio. I am Ayush. So I will go through all the projects in quickly. So starting with the Bugatti, and the theme, if you can pay attention, it's based on gaming. Since I had another passion for gaming as well, I love for gaming, and these are all the research work I did for the main theme and all. And based on that theme of Bugatti as well, I made my sketches, made some Photoshop renders on 3D models as well, because like it helps you to understand the proportions and the type. But again, like I wanted to make something like unique and something more exaggerated, not following like the current trend of something which is already there. So yeah, something fascinating as well, which is like related to gaming world, because like in gaming you can go beyond your imagination sometimes. So yeah, so main thing was like the shape of the turtle, as well as like this, the silhouette and the ruggedness of the turtle. So with the Bugatti, I made these ideations and development sketches with the little bit rough renders, I would say, and moving to the final renders, like keeping the proportions a little bit to the ground, I would say, as well as with some 3D model blender work, if you can see as well. So another project which I did when I was in my exam, this was like an exam for us. So this was our brand. Our brand was given like called Smart. It was like the third semester exam. So yeah, so I thought of the theme of like Among Us, because like it quite resembles with the Smart brand, and the audience for Smart, if you, in my opinion, the Smart Roadster, which we had to make a new version of the Smart Roadster. So yeah, this was like the ideations and all the sketches, all the theme research as well, and and the final directions. Like when you shortlist your sketches to final directions and all after like brainstorming. So after that, you move on to the final Photoshop renders for better proportion understanding and all, and reflections. So this we had to make an interior as well of this car. So these were like some of the sketches of each and every part and each and everything of the whole interior cabin with the seats. So the ultimate layout was like this, and yeah, again with the 3D modeling renders with all done in Blender. So I'll this was like the last which I did like recently with the Fiat. It was like a personalized project which I had to make interior, because like you can play with the interior much more than right now as well, as compared to the exterior part. So yeah, so some keywords I did, and the theme was like with the Candy Crush. So I had to think something related which can describe the game Candy Crush. So yeah, so with the sketches and the layout of the car, how it would fit, that this is like a autonomous interior, and with the seat sketching and all, with the inspired from a chewing gum, and like the significance of this part of like giving like a candy aesthetic vibe. And yeah, and in the meantime, these were all the 3D renders and all. Coming to this projects, like these were like some few projects which I did for a GAC competition. It was like a Chinese brand, so we had to make something for like the future, without four wheels or something, advanced mobility. So my project was based on like a uh, submarine ship for research work and marine research, something like that. My inspiration was from Pokemon, if I remember, if you guys know, like this water type Pokemon. Uh, so after that, the thing was like this part, the rear section of this was like quite detachable with the main body, and it goes underwater. So yeah, so this was quite like fun activities where we were given free time during our course. Like you have to enroll for these kind of competitions, and these were like some of the workshop projects which we did for CNH Industrial Company, with joint collaboration with Ferrero, that we had to make like a hazelnut harvester. So yeah, so we had a chance to visit the Ferrero factory in Alba. I forgot the name of the place. It was in Italy only. Like, so yeah, this was like quite the stuff we had. And another thing was like I wanted to show you guys my our thesis, some of the things which we did for the CMF of the Pagani. So these were the some of the process which we did for the CMF as well as the CMF group of our car. So our mood boards, our persona board, like how we describe these persons for the Pagani, as well as like how they can buy and what are their characteristics, some material research. And later on my part was like with the Blender settings, like playing with the settings of Blender, if you can look properly. Yeah, so these were like all the settings which we did for to change the color patterns and all. So this was the main layout for our Pagani. uh, you can see all the color palettes, all the different textures of carbon fiber and all. So yeah, then moving on to the renders which we generated, like uh, quite a few renders which we did for every proposal, like personalization of that card. So out of which like they chose one of the warm gray stone, and they other than that, the Pagani people, they decided to keep it as like a personal, like the color palette personalization, because like Pagani as a brand, it's like a customer value brand. Like they make cars with the customer order. So these were the two proposals which they selected. So yeah, and this was quite the CMF part of the interior as well. So yeah, that's it. I want to show, and these are like the parts.
Yeah, really interesting, Ayush. And I'm
Thank
saying
you.
that progress that from initial and how they have covered up in your added
Yeah,
masters, and I'm really happy with it, and I'm uh, wishing you all the best for the future as well.
thank you.
So,
Thank you.
so how many guys were there in class, like for your masters?
So we had like 24 people in our class, and our batch was like split it into two, like A and B group. As so, yeah. So we had some of the courses like we had like common teachers, and some courses we had like different teachers for each and every subject. Like I remember, like probably in exterior in the first semester we had like for the exterior interior we had like different teachers, but they were from the same company like Stellantis.
Okay, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, there might. Okay, thank you so much. And I guess we are running out of running out with time, and there would be questions from the audience. But before that, initially, as I mentioned, there would be surprise for the audience. So just let me share that screen to you, and then we'll have the question and answer sessions with the experts or the speakers. Yeah. Can you see the screen? Is this visible, Ayush?
Yes, yes, I can see. I
Okay.
can see this.
Okay. So guys, as you can see on the screen, uh, guys from various background, various culture. As you can see, Kelly has from Kelly is from Royal College of Art, Coventry. Lisa is from Europe Federal University. Aish from IAAD, and unable to join Istapane and Ulche. And we'll probably have their meeting in upcoming time. So we'll see them. So simultaneously, I would like to say to get into the best design university, you have to work hard, and you will require some sort of guidance. Okay, so there are very huge number of students currently worldwide if we are comparing, and as the students are increasing, as the colleges are opening, there is a huge competition in design. If you see this automotive field, it's too saturated because there are a lot of design students are coming out, a lot of design colleges, but the competition is again heavily increasing. Okay, so most important part is to get best college and best job. Okay, now here the surprise is we are at Migliore Design, we are launching, and speakers going to help you out in this part, in this section, to help you get into such best colleges in the worldwide. So this course is starting from 10th of August in upcoming days. So most probably 10 to 12 days. Okay. So why these courses we have planned for you guys? So firstly, it is certified. You are going to learn the skills. You are going to develop a good portfolio, and as I mentioned initially, you are going to get into best college. That is my guarantee. Okay. Chances of getting live projects and earn. Okay. And there would be competition, and whatever the SOPs are required would be there. Will help you over there, and you will get the lifetime access for the recorded sessions. Okay. Now, what courses are there? So these are the 6 courses in front of screen you are seeing. So above are design sketching, Photoshop rendering, and Blender modeling. These are the skill-based course which would be for 2 months. Okay, and below you can see the automotive design, product design, and UCID, SEED, NID. And if you are preparing for abroad colleges, so these are the full packages. So above 3 courses are for 2 months, and below are 3 and 5 months. So what exactly would be there? So in design sketching, you are going to learn product design and automotive design, how to draw in perspective, how to draw the trucks, motorcycles, shading, line quality, everything would be guided to you. So this is the content. You can take a screenshot. I have talked to you in shortly. Okay. Then second course is the Photoshop rendering. You can see on the right side how the Photoshop rendering process is done. So we draw the sketch, we take into the different softwares like Photoshop and other tools, and we start layer and layer and give the final touch. So there is a different kind of surfaces we have to play: glossy, matte, light, shadow. Everything we have to play with colors, lot of things. Okay, so that would be taught you in this course. Next course is the render modeling. So from scratch to the end level, you can develop your car. Okay, so this is the course we specially bought it for you guys. So these are the things, you can take the screenshot of it. Introduction to Blender UI, basic tools, how to make a cylinder, how to make the extrusion, how to make surface, and likewise. And there is automotive design course. It is a full package course for the 3 months. And as of now, we have seen the sketching, rendering, and modeling would be covered in this. And simultaneously, you are going to learn the process, how the industry works, and you are going to work upon one project. We are going to guide you. So it is a full package course. It's really amazing for you. And next would be the product design, full design package. Okay, so it is full course. Lisa will give you more idea about it. So Lisa, are you there?
Yes, yes, I'm here. Something's wrong with my connection.
No issue. Okay, so can you please give some input on the course, about the course?
Yeah, so as I plan it will be more of the conceptual development. So this course will then have an additional package for the 3D modeling that will be beneficial. But first of all, I wanted to concentrate the course on the concept development, like research, how to approach design project in general, and how you then can visualize your ideas in a very straightforward way so it's clear for everyone what your idea actually represents. We would also talk about like ergonomics and usability of the product, which is highly important no matter what product you design. And as a result, you will have a conceptual project that will have all of those research data and then your proposal, your personal design proposal, solving a problem that we state in the very beginning. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, absolutely. So as Lisa has given you idea about the product design, so it is also full package course. You are going to learn a lot of things. And next is UCID, SEED, NID, and abroad colleges. So this is little bit longer duration course, and you guys have idea about UCID and SEED examination. Who want to get into the government colleges in India, and those who are preparing for the abroad colleges, you can join this course. We will take you from scratch to the end, and will help you in portfolio making, interviews, and all details with the expert advice. So this is the part A, part B would be covered. Sample papers, exam strategy, how to solve the paper in time, case lectures, interview preparation, and portfolio, as I mentioned earlier. Now the fees, most important part. Okay, so on screen you can see. So sketching, rendering, and modeling, those are different courses individually for 2 months, and the fees are 12,000 rupees in Indian rupees and 160 USD. Okay, for abroad guys. And simultaneously, product automotive design and product design full package course would be for 3 months. Okay, and the price would be 21,000 for Indian rupees and 250 USD. Okay, and for seed and NID, if you are preparing, it is a 5 month course, and the fees is 21,000 and 250 USD simultaneously. But the most important part is those who are preparing, those who are planning to join soon, to go on website. So here there is a Mexico website, miglioredesign.com, and you just scroll down, and if you go onto any course like this, okay, I click on this course. So if you are buying this course in next 2 days, you are going to get only in 19,000. Okay, and simultaneously, if you are abroad, then you are getting the almost 10 USD off. Okay, same thing. Also, one more thing I would like to mention: if you go into this UCIT seed NID course, there is an option of one-time payment, okay, which is 21,000, or else you can give it in seven parts, like 3,000 per week, like this. Okay, so this is the best opportunity to get the course at very less price. Okay, so as I already discussed the pricing and the time duration, classes would be on weekends and would be taught by these experts. Okay, how to join this course? You just have to go www.miglioredesign.com and you have to select the course registration by paying fees itself. If you're having any query, you can ping us. Okay, and all details will be shared to you on website or mail. uh, the thing is that we're having the limited number of seats, and per batch we are going to take only 10 students. So number of students are more and there is good response from you guys, so I would recommend you, first come first serve would be there. So try to join as soon as possible. If you are planning to join any skill based course or full package course, we are always here to help you. So everything you can imagine, it's real by the Pablo Picasso. No? Now we'll move ahead to the question answer sessions. So our experts will be here, and you just have to drop the message, guys. And simultaneously, you can raise your hand, and I will take you on the stage. You can ask the question itself. Yes. So there are few questions already, and other guys also you can write the questions. I'm going to read. So question by Shivang Mathur: transportation design, product design, both under the branch of industrial design. Yes, it's a part of industrial design. And same questions answered given by Lisa some days back on her Instagram channel. You can go and check. Her work is amazing. Next, my question is, Bhagwan is asking, my question is, how come industrial design is different from transportation design and product design? No, transportation and product design is a part of industrial design. So Sam is asking, what are the different experience at University of Coventry and RCA? So Kelly, are you there?
Hi. Yeah, what was the question? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm repeating again. So difference between RCA and Coventry education.
Well, Coventry, I did my Bachelor of Arts in Automotive and Transport Design. They do also do a master's course there. And I think the Bachelor of Arts gives you an entry into a taster of the industry. And then at master's level, you go on to explore that design thinking, more design research, trying to find ways of solving problems for a better future, and how the user experiences, how someone can actually trust something, and create that future. The Royal College of Art, I think, it's always been uniquely prestigious in its teaching. If you lucky enough to go down there, um, they are recognizable for being one of the best, and they really are the place for the leaders of tomorrow. So I think because it used to be vehicle design at the course, the master's course at the RCA. It's now the intelligent mobility course. So we've seen that over the past few years, and I did it started in 2020. So I think it had only been going a few years, maybe 2 or 3 years. And it really is. It's how mobility can change the future, not just cars. So it's not just a skill set, it's not just cars, it really is future mobility on a whole.
Absolutely.
I hope that makes sense.
Thanks. So same here. Again, Rishi is there. Rishi is on stage. Rishi, you can ask the question. Rishi, are you there? Okay, I guess you might have some network issue. So next question is by Shubham Nayak. Without gaining any design degree, can I make my own design portfolio learning from online? Lisa, would you like to answer? So he's saying that he don't want to have a design degree, but can he make the design portfolio?
Yeah, I think that's totally doable, but it depends on your dedication, that's for sure, because it's hard. I have to accept that because like there are so many nuances that you have to consider. But if you, for example, take a curriculum from like any university, like take any university, if they have the curriculum posted on their website, you can download it and see what disciplines, what areas you need to learn in order to become that specialist. And you have to kind of probably consult someone who is already working in the industry because like you can't know yourself what exactly you need to pay attention to more, because you don't know, right? So maybe I think if you consult someone at least from time to time, someone that can guide you and kind of see your progress and evaluate if you're on the right track or not, that's probably doable. Regarding the portfolio, though, it also depends on what you want to achieve. So, for example, like how deep you want to get into the technical details, or if you want to kind of be on the conceptual level only, meaning that you only work on the aesthetics. So, for example, if you do want that, maybe furniture design could be for you because in furniture design, at least here in Russia, there are so many agencies, not agencies, like it's in-house, but anyways, they look only for the aesthetics for someone who can replicate, let's say, Italian design and produce it here. So something like that is also doable. But if you want to kind of get hired by an industrial design agency, you have to focus on certain things such as attention to detail, technical fundamentals, ergonomics. And I think that, again, if you are in contact with somebody who can guide you through all of that, that's doable. Doing everything on your own might not be the good choice, because how can you know if you're doing the right thing or not? So yeah, that's probably my answer to that.
Absolutely, absolutely, Lisa. So Shivang, I would recommend you to join the course. Like we are here for such small courses for you guys. You can join here and you can get admission to the best universities. Okay, we'll help you from scratch how to build the portfolio, how to get a skill, and get into the design college. Same question has asked by Tanisha. So does design, not same but some having a relevancy. So does product design course include product sketching too? So Lisa is going to take the product design course, and yeah, she's going to teach. So yeah. So next question by Bhagwan City. Is it possible if someone do industrial design and also work in car design? Yeah, answer is yes. And Kelly can give better solution because Kelly has worked on a lot of automotive projects as well. So Ayush, also you can turn on the camera.
Can you Sorry, can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, I'm reading the question again. So is it possible if someone do industrial design and can also work in car design? Means initially has done the industrial design and into the car design later.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you go into something like a master's, there's people from all sorts of different industries. We had students from a product design background, architect background, even jewelry design, and I think it's almost a benefit if you have these experiences from other aspects of design and not just the typical I draw cars, because it can really help you in projects and influence the way you think and you work. So I definitely encourage anybody to really, you can swap over. It's all beneficial experience, really.
Yes, absolutely. So answer is yes, you can do the work. Firstly, you can learn industrial design, but if you have a good hands-on skill for automotive, you can go anywhere.
You can
The
do what you
thing is
want.
that portfolio.
That's what I'd say. Never give up. You can do what
Yes.
you want, but never give up.
So we will go ahead next question for next question. As we are running out of time, guys, so I will like to cover the quickly questions. And if you're having further more question, you join the courses for you guys we have planned, and we'll have the lot of discussions and we'll help you out. So next question is by Tapesh. I have a question for Lisa and Kelly. Did the curriculum of your respective universities supported you in a cross-discipline collaboration, or you guys did it out of your own passion? Should I read the question, Lisa?
No, I thought Kelly would go first. Okay, I can answer first. So yeah, my university, because it has like all sorts of different faculties, yes, they do support cross faculties collaborations. Um, I'm sure that after I graduated, they started integrating like mechanical engineering students into the projects during, I guess, the third year, something like that. So it's not like from the very beginning till the end, but it will come at some point. When I was studying, they would do it on volunteering basis. So, for example, if you are working on your thesis and you know someone who, let's say, is an engineer and they would want to develop a similar project, you can too collaborate and you will work on the project from the design side while the engineer will do his part of the work. And during the thesis presentation, you will come twice. So you will both come to the design faculty thesis presentation, and then you will come to the engineering final like thesis presentation as well. And you will answer the question dedicated to design, and the engineer will answer the technical questions, which I think is really cool. Yeah, and I think that's definitely beneficial. But if your university doesn't do that, you can still do it on your own because, like, for example, when you work on some project, you will probably have some technical issues. And if you have someone that you can consult, that's even better. You don't like you have less doubt, right? And again, as I said before, this collaboration, this communication is definitely going to be beneficial for you in the future. Because if you work with someone during your studies, you can then kind of transform it into something more. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thanks, Lisa. Kelly, what do you think?
Yeah, I think just to add to that, I think when you do get into industry, you have to be mindful that it's a team effort. I think quite a lot of the time, although the designer leads the project, there are a team behind that, and including engineering. And I've always been taught that you have to know enough engineering to be able to argue with an engineer, but not be one. So you have to have a good understanding, which you probably learn at your bachelor's level, and you have to be that free thinker to come up with the ideas. and then somebody can tone you down and go, no, Kelly, that's not possible, and you sit there and go, no, that is possible, make it work. And yeah, it's quite ruthless, but you're working as a team, even though there might be some tears along the way. It is a team effort, and I can't highlight enough that it really is the team that commends projects. It's not just an individual, but you will get that insight along the way. And even at the Royal College of Art, they have a brilliant research lab down there, which they do work with industry and actually do live projects to work on, developing ideas down there. It's a brilliant innovation centre. And one of the modules on the course is called the Grand Challenge. So you will be pushed to, it's across the university, and you will be pushed to, I'm pretty sure they're still doing it, but you will be pushed to work with people off different courses, which is brilliant because you almost learn a little bit from them. And that's a really valuable thing to take away from your studies. Everybody, no one's got exactly the same background, but you can learn from each other and you can all bring your individual approach into your studies. And education never goes out of fashion. But the Grand Challenge, I was lucky enough to be in a team that actually won that year, and we were across service design, myself in intelligent mobility and fashion design. So it's really important to really be like a sponge, and just absorb as much as you can, which you'll do it across your whole career. And the more knowledge you have, knowledge is power, and you use that to your advantage.
Absolutely. Yeah. So absolutely right, Kelly and Lisa. So next question by Shivang again. So question for Ayush: what is your opinion
Hello.
on transportation design masters at Polytechnic of Benani?
As far as I remember, like I had a friend, like he was from Polyme. Like I met him like 2 years ago in Milan during a trip. So he was saying like during our course, like it was not as much intuitive and holistic approach which we are doing in yet. Um, he said like they're like still doing the basics and even sometimes like uh, that time like the professors were not like interested and like it was not something very good and they were like drawing like in a orthographic like very too much technical. They're not going to the aesthetic and the research phase of when you are making a project. When you go deep into the research phase, your proportion about the cars, the design. So yeah, they were too much technical, and even if it's a government college, like you will get some advantage, I guess, like with the scholarship and all, and probably because like in yet like the problem is that yeah, it's like private, yeah, then even SPD. So the courses they are giving like it's still not recognized by the EU. So since Polyme is like a government, I guess, but so that might help. But in my opinion, like I would still prefer SPD, YAR, or yeah, any of this three. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ayush. So next question I SK. I have technical background in mechanical engineering, so am I able to do masters in transportation design? Yes.
Yes.
Then how can I develop a strong portfolio? So Ayush here itself from technical background, me itself here from technical background, and we have done the masters. Yeah, yeah.
By
So
I
next
would
question.
add like I would like to add like by a lot of practice, I guess, a lot of practice and perseverance.
Yes.
And also like if you have a chance, like connect with some designers who are there in already in the industries, like have a feedback on your portfolio, ask them questions like where I'm lagging, like this, and give them and always have like feedback from your teachers if you are in a college. Like feedback helps a lot. In my case, it helped a lot. Even I asked my classmates, and if I remember my Taiwanese friend, like he helped me a lot during his feedbacks, and he helped me with the Photoshop as well, like a lot. Yeah, a lot of practice.
Absolutely. So next question by Eliot. I went into an interview in Coventry recently after discovering they are almost getting in 100 students per year. I choose Arts Center afterwards. In your opinion, do you think there are too many students in the transportation design field compared to the job openings out there? Uh, from my side, yes, as compared to the current scenario, there are a lot of students, and simultaneously for the commentary, Kelly can give the better answer, I guess.
Yes, I think with the impact of COVID, companies are struggling more than they have before on employment. But I still think it's such a small niche industry that I think you just have to make your mark out there and really be available to push through any barrier like that. Um, I know when I first started Coventry, there was somebody in the year above that said to me, "You have to be the best of the best." And I don't claim to be the best of the best, but I've never given up. And there's a lot of students out there which, when you do get the criticism from even the tutors or in industry, you might want to sit there and cry, but it's not. I think it's how you take criticism, it's how you adapt, and as human beings we do adapt. And it's just remember that these people are trying to help you and they're trying to strengthen you so that you can get a career from the industry. And the more you put in, the more you will get out. So I wouldn't be too phased by employment, or just find the right university for what you want to do. And both Coventry and the RCA, I can't commend enough. I've had brilliant experiences from both. I think just from hearing today, everyone, the places that you go, the different colleges you go, they all offer something slightly different. So it's a personal journey, but don't give up.
Absolutely. Okay, I hope this works. Next question by Sam. Does product design course cover sketching, rendering, and modeling like automotive course? Yes, the course will be taken by Lisa for product design, and some part of modeling would be taken by another veteran designer. So it is going to cover everything. You would like to add something, Lisa, in it?
Yeah, so we decided to divide the course into two parts. So the first part will be focused on the conceptual development, like everything that you need to do in order to create the concept, to solve the problem, to actually make the product, except for the 3D modeling. We decided that 3D modeling is such a complex skill and you cannot learn it in like one weekend, you know? So it will be like a separate part in which you will be only focused on the 3D modeling. So in the first part, you will build the concept in sketches and technical drawings, and then you will take all of that data and build the 3D model based on that data. So this is what we had in mind.
So, guys, what are the course we have planned? Those are fully strategic, and with respect to the given time period, we are going to teach you everything from scratch. So, obviously, and with a guaranteed thing, I'm going to tell you that it is going to cover everything, and you don't have to worry about everything. That thing we are going to take from our side by the faculties and the speakers. Okay. So, another question for Kelly. Sorry, if possible, can you please share your thought process as why did you choose to go for the masters from RCA in the same domain, as you already graduated from one of the finest design college out there in Coventry?
I think, like I said earlier, that we're in this period of change in the industry as a whole. And I definitely recommend anybody doing a master's to maybe get some experience before they got into it, because it definitely benefited me to see the industry, get a flavour, and then bring what I knew back into education. But in this time where we're moving into mobility as a whole, it's not just cars anymore. I think learning that thought process and learning about innovation and technologies and trying to create new ones, it's not just problem solving, it's really creating a better future, and it's exciting. I mean, we've had COVID, we've had a big challenge worldwide, but that's our job, to face these problems and move forward. And I think the Royal College of Art, with it being, they really have approached that with their core structure, so that it's intelligent mobility now. It's not just automotive and transport, it's future thinking, and it's very beneficial.
Okay, nice. Okay. So next question by Sam: will Gravity Sketch and AI course will be available at Migliore Design one day? So we are planning for Gravity Sketch in upcoming time, and about AI course in automotive full package and in product full package, we are going to give some idea how to use this AI. So you don't have to worry about that. We are going to cover that things on these courses. I guess we have almost done with the questions. If you guys having more questions, please ping us at Instagram, or you can mail us the queries simultaneously. If you want to join the course, please join as soon as possible. And let me tell you that thing. If you visit the website, there the course are there, and the fees are less. Like for Indian rupees, it is 1,000 rupees less, and for USD, it is almost 10 uh, off for next 2 days. Okay, and from 1st of August. Okay, so the prices would be as already I have shown. It would be like this.
Hello.
So on the screen you are seeing the current prices. It will start from 1st of August. And right now, if you are going to see our website, there you will get some discounts. Okay, so next 2 days are there in your hand, and just try to join as soon as possible. And already I mentioned there is only 10 students we are going to take for each course. So 6 course we are planned for you. Join over there, and if you're having any queries, you can just DM, and you are going to get a mail simultaneously regarding the same. Okay. Again, once again, I'm thankful to all the speakers, Lisa, Kelly, Ayush. Uh, your work is really amazing, and thank you so much for your time, guys. And hopefully, we'll have the upcoming sessions for the students. They are going to join, and the class is starting from the 10th of August. And a lot of things we are going to plan in backend. So guys, do join soon and get into the best college, get your best dream job, and all the best to the students. Okay, so it's almost 2 hours. So thank you so much again.
Hello.
Yes. Yeah.
So, hello, I'm Rishi. So, actually, the mic was not working.
Okay.
I wanted to ask a question to Ayush Datta. So, can I?
Yeah,
Yeah,
please.
yeah, go on.
Yes. So, basically, I am also from mechanical engineering background, and
Yeah.
still I am in second year. And I want to ask that what are the disadvantages which you felt while studying in IED Italy?
Okay, so the disadvantages was like, of course, like there were some people who were like better than you in sketching, I would say, and some people knew how to use some softwares like Alias and all. But after all, like advantages comes and disadvantages is all up to you, like how you cope up, because it's like a competitive field. You are not competing only with the on in the college, but outside with other colleges. And some of the disadvantage which I felt in general like was the language was a little bit barrier in the initial part, and still I'm learning the language, as well as like other things were like the teachers, like since I was from a technical background, like in the first few days, like I was thinking too much about like technicalities. Like since I had done automotive engineering, so that time I was not like too much focusing on the aesthetics, which was very crucial at that time. So yeah, so you have to change your mentality as well. Like you have to think out of the box for some time. That's the thing.
Okay. And also one last thing. So, does the IIT provide you a job for after the master's course is completed, or it's up to you that whenever you want to join a company after the course, you can do it, like so?
Usually, like in YED, what happens like during the final thesis presentation, we have like a career day. So the career day where all the companies come, they usually invite the companies. Like we had Chang'an, Stellantis, one Chinese company, JAC, and all. So that day you bring your portfolios and you show them your work, what you did for the last 2 years, and if you are lucky you might get an opportunity. After that day you might get a call for the second round of interview. But so but of course you can apply from outside IED as well. But if you are applying in Italy, then IED might help you. But if you are applying somewhere from outside Italy, like in Germany or somewhere, so the college might not be helpful, or you have to manage your own things. They will share your work to the company and they will give you recommendations, like yeah, as a support. But as far as for the Italian companies, yeah, IIT is there. Like they will handle all the process of uh, the the company contacts and all, because like you have to upload your portfolio and your CV to their platform. So what they will do, they will contact all the companies which are going to contact. First, they will contact IED if they require. Then they will share your resources to those companies. That's the thing. So it acts like a moderator, the college.
Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Rishi. And once again, thank you so much, all speakers. Hope you see you soon. So we, I would say, have a great day. Right? We have
Thank
solved
you,
everyone's
guys.
questions.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah.
See you
Thank
guys
you,
soon.
Vaibhav.
Yeah.